armored soldiers!
Some of Volron's former guards.
Let's take them out quick before things get messy.
Oh, glory unto Volron!
Lay down your arms and no one has to get hurt.
Silence! Traitors like you shall never walk free!
I knew you were stubborn, but you don't have to be so damn dramatic. The enemy wields our fate.
You'll soon see about that. Here it comes!
It's over!
Not on my watch!
Destruction!
Look sharp!
Here I come!
Eat this! I'll run you through!
You're mine! Dragon Force!
Armor coming through!
No escape! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here, let me help.
Destruction!
Inferno close! I'll heal you all!
Take this!
Just like that, I'll be back in it.
Start by holding the front line.
No sooner said than done.
It's my turn! I'm on it! You're mine!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Radiant, this ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There!
Not here!
What's with the hole here? Is that supposed to be their hideout?
It doesn't look like it's freshly dug, whatever it is. Maybe it's the entrance to a path to Cyslodia. Everything all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Let's go.
Tell me, Alphen, wherever did you learn how to wield a sword?
I was wondering the same thing too, actually. I'm guessing you knew how to fight before you met the Crimson Crows, right?
I used to be a soldier who served a Dahnan master. I never saw the guy's face, but I still fought for him because he was my employer. Looking back, it wasn't all that different from being a slave.
A Dahnan master? That must have been before the Renans brought you to Lenegis 300 years ago.
You must fight using real Dahnan techniques then.
Really? We used to have our own sword arts?
There's a lot of our own history we've lost since the Renans first invaded. It's not all magic and art. I'm sure it includes things like sword styles too. It's incredible and also a little surreal to see those arts still survive after all this time.
Not only that, but I first learned these moves while serving one ruler, only to end up turning my sword on the ruling class altogether. Pretty ironic when you think about it.
I apologize if I dredged up unfortunate memories for you.
Nah, we're good. It's in the past now. All we ever did in those days was stir up trouble.
You're using those skills for a good cause now. It's not all bad.
I suppose this is what people mean when they say that every cloud has its silver lining.
Exactly. He's using those sword skills to make the world better. Could be a lot worse.
True enough. I will stop worrying about mentioning it then.
No wonder we couldn't manage to find them. They've been holed up here all this time, hiding.
The remnants of Volron's forces. You think they were planning an ambush on Pelegion?
Possibly. Then again, knowing how blind their devotion is, maybe they were just waiting.
Waiting? For Volron, you mean?
Even though we already defeated him? But yes, I suppose you're right. For these guys, that would just be a technicality. They act more like worshippers than subjects. They're probably still in denial that he was overthrown in the first place.
Either that, or they were biding their time until the next crown contest. Either way, their allegiance is to their lord.
Who they're convinced and expectant will return. So in the meantime, they wait patiently in preparation for the day that he finally does. That's way more than just loyalty. It's no less than total subjugation.
You've noticed it, haven't you?
Notice what?
I'm referring to Shionne.
I never thought you, of all people, would come to me about her.
Yes, well, what concerns me has more to do with what machinations may be currently unfolding in secret on Lenegis as we make our way along this tunnel.
And you're saying it's related to Shionne in some way?
Perhaps. She believed there was a good possibility that the Renis Alma may free her from her thorns. One would think after losing the Renis Alma, she would be more dismayed, and yet she isn't. Why? There's also the matter of the power that she inherited from...
You heard what she said. She didn't know about the Maiden's power.
Mere ignorance does not preclude her deep connection to the events unfolding around us. You recall when her thorns went rampant in Castle Delpharis. I've never seen dark astral energy manifest in such a way.
I thought you said all Renans had dark astral energy inside of them.
Correct. However, what Shionne exhibited was far beyond what any ordinary citizen could ever possibly possess. And let me be clear. I do not intend to cast doubt on Shionne or her motives. Nevertheless, I cannot shake the feeling that there's more to all of this than what we currently know. Do you disagree?
How much do they have to steal from us to be satisfied?
What's that thing's purpose, anyway? Some kind of siphon that sends the astral energy the Lords harvested to Lenegis?
Not as far as I'm aware. That said, it has become evident since the forming of the Renis Alma, as well as other recent events, that my insight may be... thin. I would, as I believe the saying goes, take what I say with a grain of salt.
Dohalim.
At the very least, I believe we can assume that whoever is pulling the strings behind the scenes has had this in the works for quite some time.
Why's that?
The people on Lenegis may have plenty of resources at their disposal, but not even they could prepare something like that in a mere month. Something of that magnitude takes considerable time, as well as a predetermined goal in mind.
Then what was the crown contest for?
At this stage, I think it was but one step in the greater scheme we see unfolding before us. What that scheme is exactly, I haven't a clue. For now, I believe we should keep moving. The path continues. It's quite possible it will take us all the way to Cyslodia.
Agreed. Let's keep moving.
Come to think of it, what happened to those 4 lights that fell from Lenegis along with the wedge?
All 4 of them scattered in different directions. It's anyone's guess where on Dana they might have landed.
I'm not entirely sure, but it seemed like those lights may have all been different elements of astral energy.
So even though they're using the wedge to siphon off energy from Dana, they're shooting it back down to Dana as well? Why?
I don't know. It all happened so suddenly.
Hopefully it's not a sign of some new threat we'll have to deal with.
But if that red woman has anything to do with the wedge, then what could that light...
It's weird, isn't it?
Oh?
The Red Woman. Shionne and Dohalim said they'd never seen her before Pelegion.
Are you saying they're lying to us?
No, it's not that I think they're lying, just... There has to be some reason for it, right?
Well, one thing the two of them have in common is that they're both Renans.
Okay, you two. Put a pin in it for now. I know that we're in the dark about a lot, but for now, let's focus on getting through these mountains.
Yeah, of course.
We made it to Cyslodia.
We need to get that bridge down somehow.
It looks like we can control it from our side. Let's take a closer look.
Are you okay, Law?
Oh, fine. Just thinking. The past is a real downer. That's why I'm focused on what's ahead of me. You?
Yeah. I'm going to stay the path. As long as we're all together, I know we'll be all right.
Same here. Now let's get moving.
Stop! Who goes there?
My name is Alphen. We're not your enemies.
Did you say Alphen? Slap me silly, it really is you!
Forgetting someone?
Rinwell! Oh, glad to see you're doing okay.
What are you guys doing out here?
We're patrolling the realm. Never thought I'd bump into you all on my rounds, though. Heck, enough of me, though. What's going on up in the sky? Feels like the world's gonna end.
That's what we're trying to figure out ourselves. And as it happens, I've got a big favor to ask.
I had an inkling that's why you'd come back, as soon as I saw you in the distance. So you beat all the lords, huh? Damn, you really must be a hero.
I just did what I had to. So can you send anybody to help Ganeth Heros?
I think we can help out. I'll hit up the other resistance groups and rustle up some support. I doubt they'll have a problem sending people once I mention it's you who's asking.
Thanks. If you guys can help out, that'll give us a chance to do something about that wedge out in the ocean.
Yeah, I think that's something only you guys can handle. Speaking of which, that thing's out in the middle of the ocean. How do you even plan on reaching it?
By boat. We're about to go look for one.
No rest for the weary, I see. Hey, what happened to that mask you used to wear?
It's a long story. Let's just say I lost it.
A boat, huh? Where are we gonna find one of those? It's not the kind of thing people just leave lying around.
Especially not Renans. For an Imperial power, they never have shown much interest in maritime expansion. Still, I dare say there should be the odd small vessel here and there.
All well and good, but that structure's slap bang in the middle of the ocean. A fishing boat won't cut it.
Let's just try to find one that won't sink us halfway out, yeah? Not that it needs to be a huge galley like Almeidria's or anything.
Just as well, since we've passed, let's see, literally 0 huge galleys.
All I know is we have to reach that thing in the ocean. Anything that might work, I say we try it. Thanks to Bregan, it seems like Ganeth Heros should be in good hands, at least.
I wonder who they'll send to look after things. It'll be someone from one of the other resistance organizations, no doubt.
They could do a whole lot worse than someone like Doc. And knowledge of medicine would go a long way there.
Wait, do you mean the old guy back in Calaglia? Ganeth Heros would be one hell of a trek from there. He'd have to get here first.
My brother's old second-in-command, Lagiel, would be a perfect fit, too. Pity she'll probably still have her hands tied up with work in Menancia.
Mahag Saar will be the same story. They won't have the manpower as it is, let alone enough to start exporting it.
Man, Everyone's still struggling to get back on their feet, huh?
Knowing Bregan, he'll probably take things into his own hands. He seems like the kind of guy who enjoys a challenge.
Thinking back on it now, though, it does kind of make you realize just how many people we've gotten to know in each of the places we visited.
That's true. And each and every connection we forged is priceless. Anyway, we can trust Bregan to take care of things from here. Come on, let's focus on the task at hand.
Do you mind if we chat a bit?
Now there's something I never thought I'd hear you say.
Remember when we talked about what it was like for me growing up? Well, I thought it only fair that I also get to ask what you were like as a child.
My childhood? Maybe you missed the memo that was going around, but I can't remember anything of my past.
I know. Just whatever you can remember. There's gotta be something, right?
Let me think. Well, have I ever told you about my army days? Back when I used to serve under a Dahnan master?
Yeah, but that must have been after you were already grown up, right? Do you happen to remember anything from back when you were younger?
Actually, I remember I had a kid with me.
You had a kid?
No, of course not. The child's father was another soldier. Back in those days, we risked our lives for a master we'd never even seen. We just fought for them and didn't even question it. When that kid's dad died and I saw them sitting there crying, I felt this bitter, indescribable feeling. It was like I was drinking something toxic that I knew I shouldn't, but couldn't stop. It was strange. I never understood why I reacted like that. Soldiers died every day. It wasn't anything new.
What it tells me is that deep down, you were the same man then as you are now. You've never been able to accept injustice in the world.
If you keep talking like that, you're going to embarrass me. I wonder whatever happened to that master and poor kid. Not that there's any way of knowing now. You know, I just remembered that kid was good at sewing dolls. They gave me one once. As a good luck charm to protect me.
Dolls?
Well, if it ain't the Blazing Sword and his merry crew.
Mahavar? I can't believe you're still alive.
Course I am. If you landlubbers can make it out of that sinking ship alive, ain't no reason an old sea dog like me wouldn't too.
Yeah, but that wave hit hard. I'm glad to see you're okay. Sorry we put you in so much danger back there.
All water under the bridge at this point. You helped make one of my life's dreams come true. The ship, on the other hand, she took a bit of a beating, though, I'll admit.
Really? What happened to it? It looks fine to me on the outside.
She's fine now, but she was in rough shape when I made it back here. Engine chamber gave up the ghost. Without a lot of options, I decided to talk to the head honcho of the Dark Wings and see if he could help at all. And wouldn't you know it, Crazy Fool sent over Renan engineers to help. Can you believe it?
Renan?
Yep. Said they came from Menancia. They were real professionals. Did what they needed to and didn't give me guff or anything. I was damn near floored.
So they did the work themselves. Good on them.
Well, they did a bang-up job, because she's better than ever now. Speaking of which, I take it she's why you're here?
Yes. We need to get out on the ocean, and fast. When can we set sail?
Give the man a minute to think it over, Alphen. He hasn't even said yes yet.
It's all right, little lady. I'm a man of the sea. I'll gladly help. Hop aboard, folks.
This thing already looked plenty huge from afar. Seeing it up close makes it really hit home.
didn't expect the journey to go so smoothly. I figured the Renans would send something to sink us.
Maybe they didn't think we had the nerve to come.
Somehow I kinda doubt that.
It's entirely possible they don't see us as a threat.
What do you mean?
That they think they're beyond our reach. Still, this structure is quite the unusual sight. Truth be told, never seen anything like it.
You're right. It doesn't look like the buildings on Lenegis at all. Or like any Renan structure for that matter.
It's weird. It doesn't feel like the kind of thing that has people inside either. Yeah, it's definitely something creepy. What the hell is it even made of?
I don't know. It's not mechanical or biological, but it's definitely alive in some way.
Shionne?
I'm okay. It's nothing.
Well, what do we do now?
We have to stop this thing from siphoning off all of Dana's astral energy. That means finding the core and smashing it to bits.
Okay, but look at the size of it. I don't know if we'll find the core just wandering around.
Good point. Can anyone get a read on the astral energy around us? Any kind of a sign?
There's a rather enormous flow of energy moving directly upwards. If we wish to follow it, we'll have to do some climbing.
Rinwell?
Over there?
Hey, what's up with you?
Huh?
You okay? What happened?
I'm not sure. When I was reaching out to the astral energy, I thought I heard a voice.
A voice?
Yeah. I couldn't make out any words, but it sounded like it wanted me to come to it.
This seems like a trap, right?
It's not a trap.
How can you tell?
Listen, I don't know why, but when it spoke to me, I knew it wasn't hostile.
What do you think?
It could well be a trap. However, it's also our only real option short of wandering aimlessly about.
Let's trust Rinwell on this.
You sure?
Yeah.
It beats the alternative, I guess. What did I say? Sheesh, it's like walking on eggshells around here.
Sometimes you have to choose your words more carefully, Law.
Huh? Oh, right.
This place definitely isn't easy to navigate. That's for sure.
I doubt this structure was conceived with the ease of people's movement in mind.
Yeah. We've been seeing nothing but Zeugl nests.
It's almost as if we're inside an incredibly immense spirit vessel of some sort.
A spirit vessel? If that's the case, then that would make Lenegis the master core that's receiving all the astral energy.
Hey, have you heard that voice again since we came in here?
Oh, so now you believe me.
I never said I didn't believe you.
The further in we go, the stronger the voice gets.
Is that a sign we're going the right way then?
Where's this voice coming from? Can you tell?
Yeah, kind of. I hear it inside me, but I feel like it's also coming from every direction around us. It's hard to describe. It's almost like it's surrounding me.
Surrounding, huh?
Considering astral energy is involved, it's not that unusual.
Right, but it's not scary or anything. Listening to it is really soothing.
If you think so, just promise you'll say something if the voice gets too clingy or anything.
I promise. Here?
It's here?
Yes. All the energy flowing through the wedge comes together and collects here.
Is that thing a Zoogle? Holy crap, it's huge!
A central core and a Guardian?
Once we beat that thing, it'll stop the wedge from taking in any more astral energy, right?
It seems we're in for a fight regardless.
Here it comes. Stay sharp, everyone!
Is there no end to what the Renans can cook up?
I don't know if that's a machine or what, but I do know it's pissing me off!
Watch yourself. There is no knowing what it is capable of.
Any other wisdom you want to pass along?
Burning cut!
Their arts were interrupted!
Might with blackened blade! Take this!
There!
Lewis
One
Gate!
more! Mega ray!
It's over! Execution! You're mine! I'm not done!
Mega ray!
Negative
Dragon Swarm!
Scream, bathe.
Take this!
Rending
One
roar!
more.
Bloody hell!
Take this! Cut!
Negative
You're
gate!
finished!
Burning strike!
Soda!
Glacial spear! Pierce
Here I
evil!
come!
Freeze lancer!
On your knees!
Cut! Cut!
Air pressure!
Bathe in blood.
Rending bloody howling!
Mega ray! Fuzzy level!
Scream, bathed in blood.
Here I
Rending
come!
you apart!
Lewis
Bloody
Gate!
howling! On your knees!
Take this!
Air pressure!
Take this! You're finished! The
Glacial
flaming
spear!
flames
Pierce
yearning to
evil!
be let
They
free!
smite with blackened
Freeze
blade!
lancer!
Ignite!
Execution!
Lewis Gate! Stardust!
Radiant pierce!
Negative
You're
gate!
finished! Here I come!
Radiant pierce! Radiant
Take
pierce!
this!
By the power of flame! Finish without a trace!
You're mine!
Bloody howling!
Down! You're on!
Here I come!
They smite with blackened blade!
Strike!
Freeze lancer!
Here I come! I'm not done!
On your
I'll
knees!
heal you all!
Air pressure!
Healing circle!
Okay, here I go!
By the power of flame! Finish without a trace!
Bathed in blood.
Rending you a bloody howling! Resonate with the earth! Stalagmite!
Burning strike! Spread!
Here I come!
On your knees!
Stardust!
Radiant pierce!
Resonate with the
Tide of battle has turned in our favor.
Then let's keep pressing the attack.
Indeed. Remain ever vigilant.
You're mine! You picked the wrong fight!
rending you apart!
You're mine!
Will this help?
Bloody howling!
I owe you one.
Looks like you came to my rescue again.
You need to be careful. With the blazing sword, and with my thorns.
Shion.
Stardust! Take this! Take this! It's over!
Bloody howling!
There! Go! Mega ray!
Here I come! Stardust!
Annihilation!
More Zuko?
Keep calm and take them down!
Negative glacial
Astral Arts?
That's my cue.
Shut him down!
They smite with blackened blade!
You're mine!
Execution!
Another incantation
It's
ruined.
over! Try harder!
Finish without a trace! By the power of flame!
You're mine!
Finish without a
Lewis
trace!
Gate! Stardust! It's time!
They smite with blackened blade!
Burn!
Here, let me help!
You're mine! Front! Stardust!
Go! I'm all stuffed up!
What the hell is going on?
Fall back, Alpha. We'll take point here.
Thanks. Sorry to impose on you like this.
Stardust!
Here goes! Freeze
You're
lancer!
finished! Try harder! Not a chance!
Execution!
You're mine!
Blood, rending you apart! Bloody howling! You're finished!
Here!
Negative gate!
Recover! Back into the fray!
Benediction light.
You're mine!
Heal! Our art is being interrupted. On your
Gone!
On your
Annihilation! By the power of flame!
Hold on to your art.
Without a
Here I come!
resonate with the earth.
I'm not done!
By the power of flame!
Here I come!
Without a trace!
Stardust!
This one's all mine. Dating pile driver.
Burning! Here's a healing art! First aid! By the power of flame! Vanish without a trace!
No escape!
Explosive!
Ignite! Here I come! Stardust! Strike!
Freeze Lancer!
My turn! You're mine!
Free you of your power. Dispel.
Take this!
Burning
Take
flame!
this!
Reload!
No escape!
Benediction light.
I'll pick you up!
Heal.
Recover!
Strike! You're finished!
Water! Hear my call!
I may have bit off more than I could chew.
Burning strike! Glacial spear! Here's the evil! Freeze Lancer!
No escape!
Benediction light.
Next, my turn! Strike!
Sorry to
It's
trouble
over! Rising Phoenix!
Magna Ray!
You're mine!
I'll face
No
you.
escape!
By the power of flame! Vanish without a trace!
Elusive deity.
Here I come! Strike!
Explosion!
Stardust! You're finished!
Burning strike! Plenty left!
Benediction light. Benediction light.
By the power of flame! Vanish without a trace! Plenty left!
Reflect on thy sins. They
You're
smite
mine!
with blackened
I'm
blade.
not done!
Here!
It's time!
Will this help? Healing circle!
Blood.
We're not
Burn. Bloody howling.
Plenty left!
And just like that, I'm back in it. Start by holding the front line. No sooner said than done.
One more! Magna
No
Ray!
escape!
Who wants to die next?
I'm almost impressed.
Our praise
Here!
comes to you.
I said almost. Don't get carried
Here
away.
I come! No escape!
Annihilation!
Stardust!
Lightning!
You're finished!
Downfall!
Here I come!
Take
I'm not done!
it again! Lightning! Downfall!
Resonate with the earth.
Glacial spear!
Take this!
Here's the evil! Freeze Lancer! There!
In blood.
Have this!
Rending you
Take this!
bloody howling.
Stardust!
Resonate with the earth. Stalagmite.
Flame! Reload!
Instinct sharpened.
You're mine! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Is it over? What the hell is going on?
Rimwell! It's too dangerous! Stay back!
only, but...
I heard it. Whatever it was, I heard it.
As did I. I'm not sure I'd call it a voice, but it was there. What in the world just happened?
That was Dana's astral energy we just encountered. And I think what we heard might have been its voice?
You're saying astral energy has a mind of its own?
I haven't the slightest idea. But do you remember what happened when we fought Balseph back in Calaglia?
You mean when that fire monster came out of the spirit vessel?
Exactly. There was such a huge overflow of astral energy, it caused a monster to spawn and take physical form. Maybe the same thing happened here, just with way more astral energy and a bigger monster.
Does that mean if you gather enough astral energy, it can become sentient or take a physical form?
That's what I'm guessing, but it's just speculation. Master Cores are able to hold a lot more energy than a spirit vessel, but we still haven't seen anything like that happen in our dealings with them.
That being said, there may be a mechanism of sorts inside Master Cores and spirit vessels that prevent such reactions.
That fire monster. I remember how it only appeared after Balsef's spirit vessel broke.
Then the reason Rinwell was able to sense all that astral energy earlier must have been because it was too much for that Zoogle to contain by itself.
So, then where do you think the Zoogle went? All that energy and poof, it's gone. The Zoogle with it. Doesn't that sound weird to anyone?
Indeed it does. However, in order for us to move our hypothesis forward, we will need to gather more evidence first. On that note, how are you holding up, Rinwell?
I just can't work out why. Why the voice reached out to me first.
Rinwell?
I can't help but wonder if it's because of my heritage that I was the one to hear it. Sorry. That's a strange thing to think, isn't it? Anyway, we should get going, right? We need to make sure the energy flow has actually stopped.